Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode here on the SMP. Last episode we worked on this little moss farm and that bee farm down there in preparation for a future tree farm that we didn't end up building last episode, but I got all the stuff for. We have everything we need to start building this tree farm. I've been working in between episodes crafting a bunch of stuff and also just generally waiting on the bone meal to fill up a little bit so we can run it for at least a few minutes and get some logs for our wood that we're going to need. I've also worked down here a little bit and made this all grass just because I thought it looked nice and we were waiting on bone meal to fill up. Now, I don't know where to put the tree farm. I think up here, kind of close to the bone meal, is going to be the best place to put it because I want to be able to like automatically run a line of bone meal to the tree farm. That kind of encroaches on this area out here, which I don't really consider part of the industrial district, but I guess we're expanding, so I guess we're going to expand in this direction. So we'll have a tree farm somewhere around here, maybe. I'm not really sure, but we'll have that tree farm. We have everything we need. I think it's just time we start building. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, we have a fully functioning tree farm that is pretty noisy, honestly, but we've been AFKing here for a little bit. Enough time has passed where we have quite a bit of stuff stockpiled down in this barrel and down in the main collection system down there. Mostly just spruce wood though, which you can kind of tell from the saplings because that's the kind we need to continue some of our projects. This marks the second farm this season made by El Mango and the first farm this season that's meant to mostly provide decorative blocks. We don't have too many other farms around here that do provide decorative blocks. Of course, you can say that you can use iron blocks for decoration, or there's honeycomb from the honey farm that is decorative, as well as moss from the moss farm. But most of these farms were made primarily with technical kind of projects in mind. This one is mostly about decorative wood blocks. Wood, of course, has a variety of uses here in Minecraft. All of my technical projects here are using a bunch of wood for storage and collection systems and all sorts of things. But mostly it's been bamboo wood that we've been using because it's really easy to get bamboo wood. We don't really need quite a big farm for that just yet, though we might in the future. I'm going to leave that for now, even though it's probably going to be our next farm project, because we finally have more than enough spruce wood to continue working on our swamp back in the spawn area. So as we're moving over here, we should kind of talk a little bit about what I'm planning on making. I think I'm going to stick with red mangroves for now. We of course have the black mangroves to eventually do, but I think for this episode it's going to make more sense to have red mangroves instead and kind of just finish off the last couple of trees that we have to do on the other side of the big tree. We kind of did all the ones on one side, now we have all the ones on the other side to do. There shouldn't be too many, just a couple, so let's go ahead and make a couple of trees. Well, I think that's actually all the red mangrove trees that we're going to do for the swamp. Like, in general, I don't think I want to add any more. A lot more other kinds of mangroves, a lot of black mangrove trees and different things like that, but the red mangroves are done for now, at least. um, there might be like one more I add in this kind of area somewhere whenever I add the black mangroves in, but we're gonna need to add the black mangroves first, so I kind of know where to put it. Um, but we're not to that yet because I kind of just don't want to do that in this episode. There's other things to do in the swamp though. There's like mud that we can kind of mix in a little bit better. We can do a couple different things, but realistically, I think we should do the trees first. So we kind of know where like certain things are with like the roots and the dirt and whatnot. So we're gonna hold off on that for now. But we have plenty of time for another project. So what are we gonna do? Well, I think we can go back to the industrial district because of some things that have been happening on the server. Spellfar, who lives over there in that little hut, has been online for a little bit now, and he's been building a gold farm. He's kind of in the process of doing it. I think it's pretty much done except for the storage system. And, well, storage systems take a lot of wood. And if you remember earlier in the episode, I said we have a decorative wood farm, but not a kind of technical wood farm. So we're going to need the bamboo farm, like right now. So I think that's probably our next best project to do in this kind of episode. Let's go ahead and go over there and get started on it. Alright, here is our fully functioning bamboo farm. Now, I didn't follow a tutorial for any of this. I kind of like to make bamboo farms by hand. Kind of just cobble together different redstone circuits that I already know work and try to make them work together in a way that makes a functioning bamboo farm. I've done it a couple times before, did it again, and so this whole thing works. Now, all these different circuits probably can be accredited to someone, but I'm not sure exactly who invented all these different things. For instance, this slime machine is basically just the regular flying machine with just a couple of observers, a couple of pistons, and they just go back and forth. And that's it. There's nothing really going on there that hasn't been done before, but I don't really know who invented that because it's just like one of these really basic, really old things that have just been around forever. So I can't really give good credit for that, but one thing I can give credit to are these Etho hopper clocks. Of course, made by Etho, hence the name Etho hopper clock. These have been around for quite a long time, and they definitely still work, and they're really useful for stuff like this where you need a really long timer. So I did 2 Etho hopper clocks in sequence, that way they're even slower, and we can have a good amount of time for the bamboo to grow up all the way. We also have another kind of Etho hopper clock here, is basically what that is, but it's kind of configured slightly differently so that it's a pulse extender instead of a clock. Those are pretty technical terms to basically just say that I swapped this piston out. It would have been a sticky piston over there, but it's a regular one over here. And then I took a signal from here and sent it down here for a bunch of hopper minecarts, which we can go around and see. If we climb up on top of this lectern, you can see all the hopper minecarts lined up there. they'll go back and forth whenever it's harvesting stuff, so we can collect everything. All the items then get sent through these hoppers and into a bunch of crafters here, which are set up to automatically craft some stuff using some comparators and redstone and stuff. And it makes a bunch of bamboo blocks. We also have another chest out the end here, which just collects bamboo from the farm directly and puts it in the chest. Doesn't craft anything. So we have everything set up here. We can go up here, and also, because it's going to take a really long time for it to just go on its own, break that piece of redstone dust and place it back so we can watch this fly back and forth. Now, this whole farm was kind of made because I needed bamboo in general, but also because of Expelfar's gold farm. Now, I don't know actually if Expelfar's going to make a storage system for his gold farm. He's kind of expressed since my last kind of clip recording, and I made all this, that he doesn't want to do it himself, but he's perfectly fine with us doing it, which I think is a pretty cool project to do, just in general. Like, that sounds really cool. I want to do that. So we might be doing a gold farm storage system pretty soon. And even if we're not, then we can just, use the bamboo for a whole bunch of other things like chests and storage and hoppers and all sorts of stuff that we're eventually going to need to probably make a proper storage system for the industrial district, which will be also a really cool project. It's also just useful to have bamboo for scaffolding and sticks. So, I mean, good farm. We needed this farm anyway, really. But I don't think we have any time to do any of that today. So I think this will end the episode. Thank you guys all for watching, and God bless.